Down the street in Clearwater, Florida. Our title sponsor here for the 2026 East Coast Watercross Winter Series, the East Coast Watercross Series, and the Pro Watercross Tour. Cameron Spooner working right to left down the front straightaway. As we've got yellow flag down again. And that looks like, I'm not sure. That was 151 that went down. That was Andy Neal. Tough break for Andy. Getting to go back to the boat right now. So not in any crazy place. Course marshals right there with the yellow flag. Mini stroke through the SBT start-finish line. Meanwhile, it's Spoondog Light, Cameron Spooner, your race leader out there, as he comes from the bottom right-hand side of the track, and we've got about 2 minutes and 45 seconds left to go. So again, Sports Spec, you guys should be down on the starting line. Sports Spec, you should be down on the starting line. Cash still holding on to second. Charlie in third. 132. Fleming in fourth. And 124 rounding out your top five. Guyver Santucci. Guyver only been racing a couple of years out of Destin, Florida. And you got 33X Bentley Cox. And it looks like Spooner getting ready to overtake, or just overtook Stevens. Cash McClure now overtaking Stevens on the top right-hand side of the track. And here we come down the front straightaway with your race leader. 151, Neal getting the blue flag as the leader's encroaching. McClure taking a look behind him, seeing how comfortable he can be there. In second place, he is your leader in the 10 to 12 class. Charlie Adams still right there. Again, sponsored by Thunderstruck Racing and One Up Storage. So fifth and sixth now coming across the SBT start-finish line. Once again, we will be using the GPSs for races 7, 8, 10, and 11. Getting everything set up for everybody now. Once again, don't forget, we've got Orange coming up next, Orange, Texas. We invite everybody to come out to round number one of the Pro Watercross Tour, which is going to be taking off next weekend, starting that tour. Finishing up the Winter Series today. So we'll have, I believe, we'll have today's awards, and I think we got overall awards at the award ceremony tonight, which will be held about 30 minutes after the last race. No changes. You still got Spooner out in front, McClure in second, Adams in third, Fleming in fourth, and 124, Guyver Santucci rounding out your top five here, as time will expire on this lap right here. So Spooner will get the white flag the next time around. Spooner now coming up on the backside of Dill, who is just ready to come down the front straightaway. All right, Cameron Spooner is your race leader with one more lap to go. Cameron's father, Blaine Spooner, raced for many, many years, both in the stand-up and the runabout class. Matter of fact, I believe he was the last one to win the P1 Aquacross Series on a Sea-Doo. And speaking of P1, I think they're regrouping this year. Haven't seen a schedule come out. Michelle said yesterday that they're not doing anything this year, but they are preparing for next year for all of you endurance racing fans out there. So once again, Spooner making it look easy out there. Looking to go wire to wire here, and yet another one of the junior races. We'll see him again in our junior four-stroke class. But put your hands together for this young man right here, Cameron Spooner, who has been on fire all weekend. Coming through in second place, Cash McClure, boat number 33. Boat number 94, Charlie Adams coming through in third. Fleming on the 132 in fourth. And Bentley Cox, boat number 31, rounding out your top five. So that'll do it here for race number 2. We're going to switch hulls and move over to our sport division. This is the Pro-Am Sports Spec class. All right, once again, coming up next is race number 3. And that is the Pro-Am Sports Spec class. Boat number 2 comes to us from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. That is Arthur Caturo. Boat number 7 from West Henrietta, New York, Kayla Flitzka. Boat number 21 from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee is Haley Smith. Boat number 23 from Miami, Florida, sponsored by Dog Racing and Cabrera Motorsports, Yanio Bermudez. Boat number 128 from Laurel, Maryland is Kyle Lizzie. Boat number 146 from Oleton, Kentucky, sponsored by Allen Auto Repair, Triple Cross Ministries, and P&P Performance. That's Morgan Allen. From Apopka, Florida, boat number 321, James Hill. From Port Orange, Florida, boat number 429, Peter Dixon. And finally, out of Ooltewah, Tennessee, sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment, boat number 995, Jax Rowe. It looks like Rowe going to be starting on the outside pole. Kayla going to be starting, or check that, I believe that is Haley Smith that's going to be starting on the inside pole. Alrighty. Like they're calling for a 2-minute hold down here. Boat number 995. All right, looks like Jack's got her fired up, and he is ready to go. Kevin says, everybody fire him up. As we are set to go here. Once again, this is the Pro-Am Sports Spec class. Who is it going to be? Still got some time left on that 2-minute hold. Still got some time left on the 2-minute hold. So we're not sending them yet. Going to be 8 minutes plus a lap here in this Pro-Am Sports Spec second and final moto for them of the weekend. Once again, after your second moto today, please remember, riders, to meet with Steve Hotchkiss over here at the launch ramp to have your boat safe or technically inspected, and we'll grab the GPS from the GPS classes, which down on my sheet says 7, 8, 10, and 11 will all have GPs. All right, riders told to fire up their engines as the 2-minute hold has expired. And Haley Smith with a great jump on the inside. We'll see if she can hold on to it as she gets ready to make that first turn. It is going to be Haley on the inside. On the outside, it's going to be Jax Rowe. So you got Haley Smith on the inside, your race leader, and Jax Rowe on the outside. And they were talking about that inside being just a hair quicker off of the start. And it looks like Haley Smith grabbing that hole shot. Jax Rowe settling into second. And in the third spot is Kyle Lizzie out of Laurel, Maryland. So those are your top three here on lap number 1 as the green flag flies from the tower. Again, this is race number 3. Race number 4 coming up next. That's going to be the Novice Runabout Limited and the Pro-Am Runabout 1100 Limited. Once again, race number 4, we need you to the starting line. That is the Pro-Am Runabout 1100 Limited, Novice Runabout 800 Limited. Just under 7 to go as we take a look at your race leader out there, top right-hand side of the track, Haley Smith, making it happen, captain. And Haley, one of our privateers out here this weekend. Again, she's out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. And I'm sure she'd like to put some sponsors' names on that boat. So if you're looking for somebody to sponsor, this young lady right here looks like she has a great future in the sport of personal watercraft racing. As you see her leading Jax Rowe out there right now. Rowe definitely no slouch. Kyle Lizzie still in the third place position. Looks like Morgan Allen vying for 4th right now. And it looked like Kayla Flitzka battling it out with Morgan. Flitzka on the C2HX, Morgan Allen on the Yamaha Wave Blaster. Allen goes to the inside on the red Blaster. Kayla to the outside. Again, that is your battle for 4th place. And you can see Kayla pulling on Morgan down the back straightaway. Morgan's been having some mechanical issues. Hopefully got all them dialed in. And again, Kayla getting out the broom, and she is sweeping hard as she goes to the outside. Morgan says, I'm going to the inside. So Morgan Allen running the blues on the right-hand side of the track. Again, that's your best battle out on the track right now, your battle for 4th. Lizzie all by himself in 3rd. And meanwhile, Haley Smith out in front of Jax Rowe, who is sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment. Race number 4, runabout class. We need you up to the starting line. Pro Runabout 1100 Limited, Novice Runabout 1100 Limited. That is race number 4. Race number 5 is the Pro-Am X2 Open, Vintage Ski Open. Again, pretty much going in the same order that we went in this morning. Rowe taking that inside split. Smith takes a look over. And she knows that he's right there, but she's got him by about 2.5 seconds right now. Rowe following her through the rough water on the inside over here on the left-hand side of the track. And once again, I believe that's Arthur Katura, actually, that's up into that 3rd place position. And Lizzie back into 4th. Katura, again, coming to us from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Tell you, we got racers from Florida, New York, Tennessee, Maryland, Kentucky, all in this race. They come from far and wide to be here at the SBT, East Coast Watercross Winter Series. Again, I believe we're going to make this a habit, start coming down to Florida every year, this time of the year. Peter Dixon getting a blue flag right there as here comes your race. Uh-oh, look at this. Jax Rowe making a move down the front straightaway. And, Rowe goes down almost. Nice save there by Rowe, but Haley Smith able to get around. So Haley Smith goes back into the lead. And Rowe just had it pinned and had trouble turning that machine and slid out just a little bit and opened the door just enough to give Haley Smith enough room to get past again. Still got about 3 minutes left on the clock, so still a lot of time left to go. As Rowe, once again, he's going to go to the inside. Smith goes to the outside. Great battle going on for your lead. As we are over halfway through this race. Let's see if Haley Smith can hold on. Once again, Haley coming from Tennessee, Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, and Jax Rowe from Ottawa, Tennessee. So a pair of volunteers up front. Great race, and Jax Rowe opts to go to the inside split. Haley goes to the outside over here on the left-hand side of the track. Meanwhile, here comes 3rd place, Katura on the deuce. Katura on the C2 HX out there. Kyle Lizzie still in fourth. Takes a look behind him. Coming to us out of Maryland, and then our lone rider from Kentucky, Morgan Allen, rounding out your top five. As I'm watching the row battle, and once again, Rowe getting ahead of Haley Smith over here as they came out of that back merge. So Jax Rowe back into the lead, and we'll see if Haley can get in his head here on this last lap. Rowe grabbing a handful of throttle down the front straightaway. Still a lot of time left to go as Jax makes the turn to that inside split. Haley Smith still right there, not letting him out of her gun sights. Couture all by himself back there in the third spot. Once again, we need race number 4. We need you to the starting line. That is the novice runabout 1100 limited and pro-am runabout 1100 limited. James Wright, James Devlin, Yanio Bermudez, Susan Zipkin, Kyle Brocksmith, Brody Seven, and Alan Postlethwaite. We need you to the starting line. All right, only 40 seconds left to go. And look at this battle right here. Flitzka going a lap down to Rowe. Now sitting in the middle of Rowe and Smith, first and second. Whoa! And Smith goes way wide right there. As you see Rowe getting ready to head down the back straightaway. And then out comes Smith. So Jax Rowe with a better lead right now as time will expire before he gets back. So we'll go to the white flag, I'm pretty sure. Once again, you're watching the conclusion here of race number 3, the Pro-Am Sports Spec. 11 total races today. Again, if you're just arriving, we'd like to make sure that we welcome you out to the SBT, East Coast Watercross Winter Series. This is the final round. The final round here in Lake Alfred, and out comes the white flag for Moto number 2 of the Pro-Am Sports Spec class. Once again, this is the conclusion of race number 3. Race number 4, you should be down online. Once again, race number 4. You should be down online. Again, after your second moto today, please make sure that you come to Tech. Tech is located at the launch ramp. Once again, Tech is located at the launch ramp. So white flag racing conditions. Jax Rowe in command. Haley Smith sitting in second. Great battle between those two just a little earlier. Got some lapped riders here in front of Jax Rowe, and Jax looks like Jax followed him on that outside split. And Jax slapping all the way up into fourth place. So Jax Rowe takes the win. Then you got a back marker, and then here comes Haley Smith. Haley will end up in second place. And it looks like Peter Dixon, a little get-off right there before the finish line. As the course marshals coming over to assist. Kayla coming through the SBT start-finish line. And there is third place now on the white Sea-Doo HX. That is Arthur Couture out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So those are your top 3, race number 3. Moving on to race number 4. Once again, don't forget, after your second moto, stop and see Steve Hotchkiss, a.k.a. Beer Dart, down there at the launch pad so he can technically inspect your boat. Pro-Am Runabout 1100 Limited, combined with the Novice Runabout 1100 Limited. And down on line, we should have boat number 28 out of Lakeland, Florida. That is James Wright. Boat number 321, James Devlin. Boat number 23 out of Miami, Florida. Sponsored by Spoondog Racing and Cabrera Motorsports. That's Yanio Bermudez. Boat number 197 from Newton, New Hampshire. Sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart Wetworks, and Weeks Brothers Water Sports. That's Susan Zipkin. Kyle Brockschmidt will be on boat number 317, and he's out of Sparrows Point, Maryland. 427, Brody Seven. Sponsored by Commander Duncan Racing, the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metalworks, Casey's Cafe, and Seven's Lawn Service. Brody Seven out of Ellington, Connecticut, and boat number 750 out of Thonotasa, Florida. That is Alan Postlethwaite. Hey, how you doing, Chris? Looking good this weekend, buddy. Thank you.
All right, Mikey Young might not be aware, but if you guys can see, we have Adrian, one of our tech helpers, visiting from the UK. And he was informed that if he wanted to, he could race today, so he's going to get a quick horse orientation.
Hey, where did my DJ go? I don't hear no wiki in the background. Adrian Wilson going to join the party here in the runabout 1100 class. To jump on one of the runabout boats, came all the way from across the pond to be your technical inspector this week. Adrian, one of my partners in crime. Unfortunately, we didn't get to go out and do the town last night as he went to Supercross, and well, I went to bed. I watched some Supercross, some Richard Pryor, and went to bed. You kids probably don't even know who Richard Pryor is, do you? It's like, what the hell? What's that old man talking about? They have no clue. Thanks, Miss Cassandra. Once again, don't forget we got all the newest, latest, and greatest ECW merch up here. I've never seen Adrian race. You know, I used to go over. I used to announce. I used to be the announcer in Great Britain at the JSRA races. But his daughter used to race, and his daughter Rihanna is really fast. Matter of fact, his daughter Rihanna actually picked up me and Dave Arnold in Belgium last year as a part of the World Grand Prix series. And she wasn't used to driving on the wrong side of the road, which was the right side of the road for us, but the wrong side of the road for her because she's from Great Britain. And let me tell you, that was a real fun ride. We were in the back of a van with no seats, and this girl did not know how to drive. We're just going into one wall, back to the other wall. Fun stuff. Yep, so Adrian Wilson's going to get out there and turn in some laps here for us. Once again, the current time on deck is about 13:20. That is 1:20 for most. As they give him a quick tour of the course, letting him get out here and race. As he flew all the way from England to be over here, so we're going to hook a brother up. I believe that's Brody Seven, one of our course marshals, that is taking Adrian around the track right now. Adrian didn't get a chance to go out and practice, but he wanted to go out here and get turn some laps in. So we said, hey, we got a boat for you. We'll get you out there. Yeah, Adrian's worked with the JSRA for a couple of decades. Remember, I think my first trip over there was 96, and that is back when Adrian was still racing. Bushel was just getting started back then. Bushy, who's got several world and national titles, used to race over here in the States on the IJSBA National Tour. We used to have a lot of racers, international racers that came over, and James also rode the Pro Watercross Tour for several years. He's the one that actually started our little club, the Golden Circle. All right, so boat number 747 is joined in the party. That is Adrian Wilson from Great Britain. Man, got to go to Supercross last night. Now he's getting a race. I mean, he's not wanting to go back to Great Britain. He said it was pretty doggone cold when he left to come over here. I'll be going over there for the final JSRA event, I believe, this season. That's going to be, I believe, the week after, or 2 weeks after Labor Day. Right before we go out and invade Lake Havasu. Welcome to the Pump Wash Club. Standing right behind the starting line is not advised. One side or the other, folks. You may get pump washed out. Well, at least he's smiling about it. Well, 317 has been the boat to beat. 28, the boat to beat in the pro class. All right, so Adrian, our tech inspector, already cheating. He missed a green buoy and a white buoy. Get the black flag out. he got 2 buoys out of the 4. We're going to keep him in the tech tent. We're not going to let him race anymore. So once again, that's Adrian's up there near the front right now. Meanwhile, I believe it's boat number 317, Kyle Brookschmidt, your race leader out of Sparrows Point, Maryland. And he's been pretty much perfect in that novice runabout, 1100 limited division. You got Adrian. It looks like he's in second, but he got called for a couple missed buoys. I could hear it on the radio chatter. Looks like 423 back there, who is officially in second place. Or check out, that might be 427. Brody 7. Yeah, so that's 7 back there. Going to the outside split right now. It looks like Susan Zipkin, sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies. Currently running in the third place position. Again, this is a novice runabout combined class. James Wright not out there representing the pros. Neither is James Devlin. So you only got the novices out there. So your race leader is Kyle Brookschmidt out of Sparrows Point, Maryland. Race number 5, we need you to the starting line. That's Pro-Am X2 Open and Vintage Ski Open. Pro-Am X2 Open, Vintage Ski Open. Need you to the starting line. Once again, don't forget we got the merchandise booth open up here for East Coast Watercross and Pro Watercross. If you've not yet picked up yourself a souvenir, make sure you come on up here and grab something before you take off today. Beautiful day to be here at the Lions Club in Lake Alfred for the final round of the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series. Once again, double awards tonight. We'll have series awards, I believe, in awards just for today. Your race leader really checking out of this one, already down at the bottom right-hand side of the track and coming down the front straightaway. We've got about 2 minutes, 40 seconds left to go here in race number 4. Once again, race number 5. We need you to the starting line. Race number 5 to the line. Once again, going to be a very busy personal watercraft season. We ask that everybody support East Coast Watercross. And it looks like we got a rider down on the outside split. And that was your race leader that went down. So had Adrian hit those first 2 buoys that he missed, he would actually be in the lead right now. So once again, boat number 317, Kyle Brockschmidt, is out right now. So taking a look exiting the split right now is Susan Zipkin. So unofficially, Susan Zipkin is your race leader out there now. I'm sorry, is that Brody? I'm sorry, Brody. My bad. So that's Susan in second. So you got Brody in first, Susan in second. And who's on third? So here comes Wilson with a minute 20 left on the clock. And here comes Brody. Brody is your race leader with the optic green numbers right there. Brody, once again, out of Ellington, Connecticut. Sponsored by Commander Industries, Duncan Racing, Hot Slag Company. There's Susan, currently in second, as she goes through the SBT start-finish line. Brody also sponsored by Wetworks, Barber Utilities, Seven's Lawn Service, and Casey's Cafe. Once again, we need race number 5. That is our vintage class and X2 class to the starting line. We only got 2 X2s and 1 vintage boat. So this next race, one of the smaller ones, race number 6. Time for you to start thinking about it. That's going to be our junior sports spec and our super chicken race. All right, your race leader comes through with 15 seconds left to go, so he's going to have to go another lap before he gets the white flag. Once again, that is Brody 7, sponsored by Commander as well as Duncan Racing and the Hot Slag Company. Zipkin still in second. .317 after having that get off a couple of laps ago is back up into third place. And you got Wilson in fourth, who's over here on the right-hand side of the track. Is about ready, I believe, to go a lap down to Brody. As the white flag will come out the next time here for Brody. Yeah, but he missed buoys, right. You always give the white flag to the leader, bringing up something good up here, in case you're not familiar with the rules. Even though the leader missed some buoys, they still give the white flag to the leader on the final lap. But he'll be scored differently. So even though he might get the checkered flag, he's still going to get, I believe, 5th place in this one. So Zipkin coming through, and here comes Brooke Schmidt. So once again, Adrian Wilson, my good friend from across the pond, and he's one of our technical inspectors this weekend. One final time through the split as the checkered flag gets ready to come out from Kevin, who is the director up there on the flag stand. So Wilson will take the checkered flag, but your winner will be Seven right there on boat number 427. Congratulations, Brody 7 out of Ellington, Connecticut. Again, sponsored by Barber Utilities, Wetworks, Earthlight Technologies, the Hot Slag Company, and No Limits Metalworks. Susan Zipkin out of Newton, New Hampshire, sponsored by Wetworks, Weeks Brothers Water Sports, Beer Dart, and Global Integrated Technologies. Will come through in second, and Brooke Schmidt having to settle for third place. Alrighty, coming up next, we've got the Pro-Am X2 Open class, combined with the Vintage Ski class, representing the X2s out there, boat number 7X out of Painted Post, New York. Sponsored by Poured Concrete Walls, Corning Construction, and Wet Dream Team Racing. That is Andrew Freeman on the 7X. 7 out of West Henrietta, New York, sponsored by Watcon.com, Moto Option, and Pro Watercraft. That's Kayla Flitzka. Boat number 91, representing the vintage skis out there, is Callan Landry. Callan coming to us from New Orleans, Louisiana. All right, 6 minutes plus a lap in this class right here. This is race number 5 of 11. So we're about halfway through the second half of the day. It's going to be Kayla on the inside. I believe we've got our vintage ski on the outside. Only one of them, that's Callan Landry out of New Orleans, Louisiana, where we'll be racing a little bit later on this year. Kayla with yet another hole shot here in the vintage X2 class. Y'all need to dust off that X2 that you got sitting in your garage. Come out here and get in the lineup. I know they had a special this weekend. If you race 2 classes, you could get the 3rd class for free, which is pretty cool. Like that idea as a promoter. Try to fill up the lines a little bit. And Kayla working her way down the back straightaway, left to right as we view it here from the Pro Watercross Tour compound. Once again, don't forget over here at the compound, we've got the new East Coast Watercross stickers, koozies, bottle openers. We've got Moto Option umbrellas, discounted 2025 shirts, $5 East Coast Watercross shirts from 2024, and some clearance $5 Moto Option apparel up here at announcing. So once again, you want to take home a cheap souvenir. Maybe you got a birthday or somebody special you'd like to buy something for. Chris, did you just inform him that he missed some buoys? He's out of here, right? No, okay. He missed Riders meeting. By the way, Adrian Wilson, you owe us about $250 fines. Missing the Riders meeting, shame on you. Callan Landry deep in the tray as he goes by the SBT start-finish line. Once again, join us next weekend for round number 1 of the Pro Watercross Tour. Should be a fun one where they got us. I can't believe that they're doing this. They got us coupled up with a craft beer and barbecue festival. Oh my. That is going to be one not to miss. Orange, Texas next week, the opening round of the Pro Watercross Tour.
Yeah, buddy. Good job, Mikey. Adrian had fun?
Yeah, I bet he did. I had fun talking about it. So once again, don't forget after your second motos, riders, make sure that you come over here so Adrian and Steve can technically inspect your boat over at the launch ramp. So again, after your second motos, please make sure that you head to the launch ramp. Again, we thank you in advance for that. Race number 5 out on the water, and it's Kayla out in front on the pink X2. Freeman currently sitting in second. Callan Landry, the only vintage X ski that we've got there, or the vintage ski rather. And coming up next, we've got, it looks like the junior sport class and the super chicken class. Junior sport and super chicken is coming up next. Landry all by himself down the front straightaway. Once again, I'd like to say a special thanks to our good friends over at Visit Central Florida, as well as Liqua Molly, Beer Dart, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm photo, aerial flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Pro Rider Magazine, Commander Industries, Moto Option Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred, the Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. Speaking of JetX Power Sports, the JetX team was actually over in Daytona last night watching the Supercross, watching Ken Roxon put the spank down on the kids. Tomac broke his tooth, biting a trophy. All kinds of crazy stuff over in Daytona last night. Meanwhile, Kayla, your race leader, top right-hand side of the track, and her favorite has been the outside. Got a rider on the outside right now, Callan Landry. She's going to opt to go to the outside anyway, and looks like Freeman going to follow suit. As your leaders get ready to come down the front straightaway, only 1 minute left on the clock. Where is my race number 6? One, two. Okay, there we are. Well, thank you, Wicked Princess. Okay, it looks like our Super Chickens and Junior Sport class is coming up to the starting line. Meanwhile, Kayla in control out there as they both enter the split just about the same time. Freeman on the left, Kayla on the right. Kayla easy to pick out with the pink ski and pink helmet. The Kawasaki X2, the vintage X2 class, very popular out on the West Coast. The white flag's out this time around for Kayla. So less than a lap to go for the Wadcon.com rider, Kayla Flitzka, out of West Henrietta, New York. Freeman doing what he can do to try to get back in the game here as the white flag comes from the tower. Less than a lap to go. Some of us know that flag is not just the white flag, but the hallelujah flag, because by the time they're bringing it out, you're saying hallelujah. Only one more lap to go. By the way, we still got some free Monster energy drinks up here. If anybody out there wants a Monster energy drink, we've got 3 freebies up here. I see Tully and Susan down online. And we should have our junior sport class down there online, too. I think we're missing one boat in the junior sport class as the checkered flag gets ready to come out. And here comes Kayla down the front straightaway. As she gooses the throttle, she'll stay in front of Freeman, and she'll take the win here in Moto number 2. And Freeman going to have to settle for second here in the second Moto. Callan Landry, the lone rider, left out on the track. In the vintage ski class, it looks like he's on a SpongeBob square nose. All right, so Callan takes the checkered flag. We'll reset the clock and get started here with race number 6. Once again, this is the Super Chickens as well as our junior sport class. Yeah, back up. I caught the battery juice right out of that. All right, once again, junior sports spec. We should have Bryson Dill out of Naples, Florida, boat number 14, and Cameron Spooner out of Dania Beach. Sponsored by Spoondog Racing, Onium, and Jet Life Miami. He'll be on boat number 23, boat number 88 from Newton, New Hampshire. Riding atop of Kawasaki for Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart Wet Works, Weeks Brothers Water Sports, Tully Zipkin, and on the 197 out of Newton, New Hampshire. Sponsored by Global Integrated Technologies, Beer Dart Wet Works, and the Weeks Brothers Water Sports. That's Susan Zipkin. So a husband and wife team going to be pitted together side by side over here on the right-hand side. And I haven't seen Spooner once again. Spooner a no-show here as Dill, the lone sport rider out here on the right-hand side. So, again, it's going to be Dill on the inside. And Susan and Tully side by side as they go into that turn. That's Susan on the outside. And Susan pulls ahead of Tully. Tully's going to have position as they work their way to the top right-hand side of the track. We'll see if he utilizes that, pushes his wife wide. And Susan trying to get right back in there and steal that position away. Nothing doing as Tully slams the door shut on Susan over here on the bottom right-hand side of the track. Once again, that's a Super Chicken class. Sport class being led right now by Bryson Dill. I believe that's sponsored by Keith Dill Racing. Bryson Dill's father used to race on the national tour with us for many, many years out of Naples, Florida. I can remember meeting KD, his father, back, I believe we were at the Lonnie Kai in Fort Myers Beach back in 1992, I believe it was, or 93. I think that was the same year we made that movie Making Waves. I don't know how many of you jet skiers have seen the movie Making Waves. Yeah, I mean that was pretty. I was going to say that was pretty popular in the mid '90s. They actually used our jet ski race for a movie set. That was actually my first movie, my first credit. We did it in Orlando. It was pretty cool. We actually did it at a studio in Orlando. And I got $100 and 2 slices of pizza for being in the movie. I voiced the whole movie with no script. They just had B-roll, and I sat in a dark room and talked jet skiing back in the early 90s. It actually released in the movie theaters in other countries. It just didn't get released in the movie theaters here. It's the first ever movie about jet ski racing, about a young lady who wanted to be the best in the world. All right, Tully starting to pull away from Susan. Susan took that outside split. Tully came from the inside. And Tully's chasing Bryson Dill right now as they work their way over to the top right-hand side of the track. Taking a look out, we got just over 3 minutes left to go here in race number 6. Race number 7, we need you to the starting line. That is the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. Race number 7, Pro-Am Ski Stock class. That's going to be first one we're using for our GPS setup here. Once again, I'd like to welcome everybody in who is listening in from all over on the live stream. Mike on the mic here with you as we are 2 minutes, 45 seconds. You got the Super Chickens combined with our junior sports out there right now. Current weather for those of you who are watching in from around the world. It's beautiful down here. Nice day. Low 70s. A couple of clouds in the sky, but it's been pretty much sunny most of the day. A little cool this morning. But we suffered through it. Now the hoodies have been put away. The jackets have been taken off. The wetsuit, the Farmer Johns are back in use. And we got Dill out there in the lead. Once again, that is Bryson Dill out of Naples, Florida. Tully and Susan Zipkin running 2 and 3 right now. And all riders have been going to the outside for pretty much this entire race. Under 2 minutes to go. This is race number 6, race number 7. Our pro ski class. We need you down to the starting line. It's a pro ski stock class. Pro ski stock class. And Dill looking to go wire to wire here. He's probably got about 3 more laps left to go. I think, I don't know about you guys, but I think that when we do the Super Chicken class, I think we ought to actually, it was called the SC, like the side-by-side cruiser or sport cruiser. I think we should have 2 people on that because that's what it's meant for, was 2 people. What do you think? Super Chicken with 2 people, and one person has to drive half the race, and then you have to turn the wheel over, and the other person has to drive the next half of the race. I don't know. Could be interesting. Something to talk about. That's the way they did it at Brave the Wave up in Michigan a couple of years ago. Went up and announced that show. More of like a free ride show. But they also raced Super Chickens. Dill, your race leader, down the front straightaway. And I don't think he's going to get the white flag this time, but he'll get it next time. As we still have 30 seconds left on the clock. Tully Zifkin still winning that Super Chicken class. Hey, by the way, don't forget the Lions Club still serving up hamburgers, hot dogs, and ice cold drinks. If you're starting to get a little hungry, a little thirsty, stop on over there and support the Lake Alfred Lions Club. Again, just as a reminder to all you racers, but you pretty much know this, but we will be doing the awards about 30 minutes or so after the final race. Time expiring here in race number 6, so the white flag will come out for Dill the next time around. And the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. I got a feeling. Tonight's going to be a good night. Yeah, tonight's going to be a good night. I pick up my fur baby tonight. 14, Bryson Dill, your race leader, gets the white flag. Tully Zifkin takes a look behind him. Susan Zifkin still running in third right now. She's going to opt to go to the outside, Tully to the inside. Once again, race number 7 is the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. I believe we're going to be putting these guys on GPS. Races 7, 8, 10, and 11. All going to be GPS races. Been testing and tuning everything for the last 2 weeks, so we are locked, cocked, and ready to rock and roll for Orange, Texas next week for the first round of the Pro Watercross Series. Once again, the Pro Watercross Series is going to consist of 10 races this season, and you pick your 4 best. You can go to all 10, or you can just go to 4. But there'll be 10 races to choose from. As Dill takes the checkered flag. Looks like Tully Zifkin going to take the checkered flag. So again, you'll take the your top 4 scores, and then we'll have a consolation race in Lake Havasu the week before the IJSBA World Finals. And coming up next, race number 7. And down on the starting line, boat number 5 out of Johnson City, Tennessee. We got Thomas Lambert, boat number 79 out of Miami Beach, Florida. Stefano Atanis, boat number 98 from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Shelby Warman, boat number 317 from Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. Trayton Smith, boat number 529 from Jacksonville, Florida. Sponsored by Glidwell Racing. Placid Pools, Marsh Rats Inshore Charters, Team Reckless Abandonment, Kylie Meyer. And rounding out the field, boat number 804 is Tim Fornash. All right, so once again, 8 minutes plus a lap. Pro-Am Ski Stock getting ready to take off down online. Again, this is race number 7, 11 total races. For everybody who is listening in on the SBT live stream, brought to you by Liqui Moly. All right, riders told to fire up their engines. Kevin's going to look down line, make sure that everybody's got their boat started. Yeah, and there we go. We are off and away. Pro-Am Ski Stock class. Kylie Meyer, a winner in Moto number 1 and a winner yesterday. Let's see if she can hold on to it again. So it looks like Meyer on the outside. It looked like 317 on the inside. And look at Kylie way back in the train. She's going to go to the outside split over here, left-hand side of the track. Boat number 317 is Trayton Smith out of Soddy Daisy, Tennessee. And those two battled it out in Moto number 1. We'll see who takes the lead as they were side by side on that hole shot. And Trayton Smith coming from the inside. Kylie going to have the drive, but Smith going into a solid first place on the top right-hand side of the track. Trayton taking a second, I believe, in the first moto. Trayton down here, bottom right-hand side of the track, working the sweeper into the front straightaway. Kylie Meyer following suit, and you can see Smith right now with about a 3.5-second advantage over Meyer. And Meyer charging hard down the front straightaway. Smith opts for the inside split. And Kylie Meyer going to go ahead and take that same line. Let's go back a little further. That looks like Fornash on the 804, followed by Shelby Warman in fourth, boat number 98. And rounding out your top 5 is boat number 5, Thomas Lambert out of Tennessee. So those are your top 5 here with 6 minutes left on the clock. Adam East, I believe, back there in the 6th position. Again, you're watching race number 7. This is the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. Race number 8 is our junior 4-stroke lights class, the 10 to 12 and 13 to 15 division. Once again, junior 4-stroke lights, 10 to 12 and 13 to 15 division. We need you down to the starting line. And Smith maintains that lead as he works his way into the split. Going switch foot through that slalom section on that inside split. Smith getting ready to exit the splits, top left-hand side of the track and working his way down the back straightaway. Meyer now coming down the back straightaway. Smith advancing that lead. Now got about a 4.89 second lead when they came through the start-finish line here. And once again, we got the fastest lap times up here to Trayton Smith with a 52.19. That was his last lap time. 119. And Kylie Meyer with a 52.27. Shelby Warman with a 58.481. Tim Fornash with a 106.494. Lambert with a 104.234. Those are your 5 fastest lap times here in the Pro-Am Ski Stock class. So, again, lap times hovering right around the 55-second to 1-minute range for the most part. As your race leaders onto the right-hand side of the track. Hi, Vicki Gregory, who is listening to us from across the pond. We miss you over here. Big shout out to Leigh Gatsby as well. How you doing, Lee? Good to hear from my friends across the pond. I think that they tuned in just to watch Adrian Wilson miss some buoys. I don't know if you guys got to see Adrian, but Adrian got out there, put the spank down in his class, but unfortunately missed a couple buoys. Leader went down, he went into the lead, but wasn't enough. Trayton Smith, I believe, on the inside split, leading Kylie Meyer right now. Again, like to welcome everybody in who's watching from around the world. Special thanks to my good friend Charles Goodchart Photography, who is providing the live stream here for us. Also, I'd like to say a special thanks to our friends from Aerial Flicks. They're doing some killer drone videos. Shelby Warman still in 4th place out there with 3:15 left on the clock. Again, this is race number 7. Race number 8, our junior 4-stroke class. We need you to the starting line. Fornash making another pass back by our start-finish line, still in 4th place. 5th place is still Lambert. Lambert, I believe, ready to go a lap down on Trayton Smith right now. Trayton again out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, one of the faster riders up there in the Tennessee, Carolina area. Got a chance to watch him at all the AJSA races last year. And Kylie Meyer goes down there for just a minute and give Trayton a little bit more breathing room. I'm not sure, but I believe Shelby Warman has actually moved up into third place. Fornash dropping back to fourth. And your leader has lapped all the way up to fourth place. There is 3:17. Trayton with 2 minutes left to go on the clock. So taking a look down here, Trayton, that last lap time, slowing down just a little bit. His fastest lap time of 52:119. Last lap, 55:235. For those of you who are listening in at home, we've got the GPS transponders. First time this has been done, and congratulations, Sean Dudek, for being an innovator, not an imitator. Again, we do have backup scoring, but we've been checking this system out. We wanted to make sure we got all the hiccups out before Pro Watercross Tour round number 1 next weekend in Orange, Texas. Okay, here comes Trayton with about 1:05 left on the clock. And taking a look down here, Trayton's last lap time, a little faster than his lap before, 54:676. So he's hovering right around 54, 55 seconds. Kylie Meyer with a 55:164 that last time. Had a slight bobble coming out of the inside split. That's why her time was a little bit slower. Shelby Warman with a 1 minute 6:64 the last lap time. Her fastest lap time, though, was a 58:48. So she cracked the 1 minute mark. So Trayton Smith, Kylie Meyer, Shelby Warman, the only 3 riders out here to break the 1 minute mark during a full lap time. Again, this is race number 7, Pro-Am Ski Stock. Race number 8. Our juniors are coming up next. Last lap there for Trayton, 56:405. And then Kylie just posted a 54, so she shaved 2 seconds off the lead there from Trayton Smith. Smith slowing down, Kylie Meyer going faster. Fornash now coming through the start-finish line, as is Lambert. Once again, race number 8, our junior 4-stroke class should be coming to the starting line. Once again, just as a reminder, the awards will be 30 minutes after the last race. 30 minutes after the last race. This is race number 7 you're watching right now. So 30 minutes after race number 11, we'll be doing the awards right back here behind us. And I believe we've got double awards tonight, as we've got today's awards and series awards for the last 2 weekends, 4 rounds. Great racing here with the SBT ECW Winter Series. Glad everybody could make it down to Central Florida, my neck of the woods. It's always nice to have a couple races not too far from where you live the first couple races of the season. So Smith, not too much time to go here, is your race leader. Trayton on boat number 317. I believe that's him getting ready to come off of that outside split. Bottom right-hand side of the track, and here he comes, right to left in front of you. And he is going to take the win. Congratulations, Trayton Smith. Taking the win, coming to us out of Tennessee. Antonese, I believe, was a lap down, and 529, Kylie Meyer, part of the Goodwell Racing team. Coming through in second, Shelby Warman unofficially in third on boat number 98. So that'll do it here for race number 7. Race number 8 is coming up next, but before we go there, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Short Block Technologies. This weekend is brought to you by all of our good friends, CJ and Company, over at Short Block Technologies, and presented by Gary up at LM Marine, and my good friend Fast Eddie, who's hanging out on the picnic table here with me. How you doing today, Fast Eddie? Right on, right on. Glad to have Liquid Molly in the house with us here. Race number 8 is coming up next, folks. And again, that's one of our junior classes. Again, I'd like to say a special thanks to Steve Hotchkiss and Beer Dart. He is our lead tech inspector. and as well as our transponder sponsor. Special thanks to Shauna Passanen over at Visit Central Florida for their assistance in the last couple of weeks. Of course, Liqua Moly, whom I just mentioned, Charles Gunchard Photography, 10mm photo, Aerial Flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Technologies, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Moto Option Clothing, Commander Industries, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred, the Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. Thank you also very much for your participation in the 2026 SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series presented by Liqua Moly. Okay, down online from Saudi Daisy, Tennessee, sponsored by TC Free Ride, McClure Racing, Chase Plumbing and Mechanical. Vote number 33 is Cash McClure. Vote number 114 is sponsored by Wade Shape and Performance, Judge Motorsports, and Exotic Signs. That's Braden Dill. Representing the jet ski four-stroke lights class out there, sponsored by Spoondog Racing out of Dania Beach, Florida. Boat number 23 is Cameron Spooner. 31 is Bentley Cox. Boat number 124 is Guyver Santucci. Boat number 132 is Logan Fleming, sponsored by Onium Pro, Farthing Racing, and 300 Motorsports. It's Sebastian Wilcox, sponsored by the Commander Youth Program out of Franklin, New Hampshire, will be on boat number 595. It looks like Cash McClure on the inside, boat number 33, grabbing the whole shot on the inside. On the outside, it's Sebastian Wilcox, and these two went at it a little earlier today in moto number 1. And again, looks like McClure going to be coming from the inside. Sebastian coming from the outside, and Sebastian, he's going to have the drive coming from the outside, not going to be able to catch McClure as they work their way down the front straightaway. Looks like Spoondog Light started where he started in moto number 1. He ended up taking the win in moto number 1, but started out in third place, had to work for it. It's like Logan Fleming back there in the 4 spot, boat number 132. All right, back out to your race leaders. Boat number 33, Cash McClure. Looks like Spooner got passed. Yeah, he's cool with his body side. Right. All right, so we're taking a look at McClure. You too. Nice to see you guys. McClure, we coming from that inside split. Double split for those of you who are listening in at home on the SBT live stream. A dual split, a split on the left-hand side of the track, and a full split on the right-hand side of the track. 33, it's going to be McClure, first one to the split section over here on the top right-hand side of the track as we view it here from the Pro Watercross compound. And Cameron Spooner out of Dania Beach still sitting in second place. Again, took a win in moto number 1. And Sebastian Wilcox in third, all your top 3 down the front straightaway. I believe that's Fleming back there in the 4th. Now he's on the front straightaway. Fleming again out of Port St. Lucie, Florida. Check that. That's Bentley Cox. It's actually back there in the 4th place position. Again, the 10 to 12 class and the 13 to 15 class are both out there in this ski division. Race number 9, we need you up to the starting line. Once again, race number 9, that is going to be our novice runabout 4-stroke combined with our Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke class. Need you to the starting line. 3:45 left on the ticker here for the juniors. And we are running right through them. Only 3 races to go after this. Nice Sunday afternoon. Current time on deck, it's just about 14:05. 14:05. That means, 2:05 for us civilians. Spooner still with the pole in the water, trying to reel in your leader. Cash saying nothing doing. The 10 to 12 class is going to beat the 13 to 15 class this time. He's got about 3 minutes and a lap to hold off Spooner as your leader's now onto the back straightaway. So some great racing going on here in the 10 to 12 and 13 to 15 four-stroke lights class. McClure, Spooner both going to the outside split. Wilcox, sponsored by the Commander Youth Racing Program, still in that third place position as he comes down into the front straightaway. So we've got about 4 laps to go or so, as we've got about 2:30 left on the clock. And taking a look down here, as far as lap times go, Cash McClure, his fastest lap time, a 55.128, and his last lap, a 55.237. So you talk about staying consistent out there. Fastest lap time for Cameron Spooner. He's got the fastest lap time in this class at a 54.086, a 54.086. In the last lap, he ran a 54.087. So he is slowly catching Cash McClure. Sebastian Wilcox with a 55.831. I believe that is the 4th fastest lap time. 3rd fastest lap time being turned in right now. Bentley Cox with a 55.484. So she's got the 3rd fastest lap time out there as your race leader goes by the SBT start-finish line. And this time a 54.158 for Cash McClure. Cameron Spooner with a 55.977. So Cash a little faster on that last lap. Sebastian with a 55.023. So right now your leader has a 2.3 second lead over second place, a 4.9 second lead over third place, and a 9-second lead over fourth place. Yeah, these GPS systems are pretty cool. It gives us a lot more to talk about while we're up here, other than just sponsors and what's actually going on out on the track. A lot of the more technical mechanics and stuff like to know that. How fast are the boats going? You know, what kind of lap times are we turning in? Cash turning in a 54.553 that last lap. Spooner with a 54.865 on the last lap. Once again, you're watching the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series, round number 4. Ran 2 rounds last week, ran a round yesterday, final round today. Once again, awards 30 minutes after the last race, and we'll be doing 2 separate award sessions. Time has expired, so the white flag will come out for Cash. And here comes Cash. Out comes the white flag. So 1 more lap to go for Cash McClure out of Saudi Daisy, Tennessee. Again, riding for Taylor Curtis and Company at TC Freeride, as well as McClure Racing, Chase Plumbing and Mechanical, 6D Helmets, ODI Grips, GoPro, Action Sports and Canopies. Second place, still sponsored by Spoondog Racing, Onium and Jet Life Miami out of Dania Beach, Cameron Spooner. Spooner doing what he can to try to catch Cash. So once again, the fastest lap time in this race right here, as the white flag comes out, was Cash McClure with a 54.157. And McClure coming from the outside split as Dill takes a look over and the checkered flag comes out. Congratulations. Cash McClure taking the win. Had a 56.963 lap time on that last one. And Spooner comes through in second. First in his class, 595. That's Wilcox. He'll come through in third, followed by boat number 31, Bentley Cox, rounding out your top 4. Race number 9 should be down on the line as Fleming, who was in 5th place, comes through the start-finish line on boat number 132. Again, down on the line, we've got the novice runabout 4-stroke, Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke. And we'll go through the lineup here in just a moment. Again, I'd like to say a very special thanks to Short Block Technologies and all of our great friends at Liqui-Moly. Alrighty, once again, the novice runabout, Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke class down on the starting line. They bumped them up to 10 minutes plus a lap from, I believe it was 7 minutes plus a lap earlier today. Representing the novices out there from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, boat number 0 is Arthur Catura. Boat number 117, Andy Martinez, also from South Florida, down there in the Miami area. Representing the Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke class, sponsored by Casarini, Pro Watercraft, Jet Tribe, Mono Zaprania, and Mormai. That is Davey Prado on boat number 37. 281 is Armando Martinez. He'll be riding the top of Yamaha out of Miami, Florida. Marcio Vendetti out of Orlando, Florida, originally from Brazil. 529 and 606, Alex Dobson. He was the winner of Moto number 1, and he is a Hoosier Daddy from Angola, Indiana. All right, we are off and away, and it looked like Dobson got a good start on the outside. He's going to be sweeping hard. It looks like Catura on the inside. On the outside, looked like Martinez had it. Here comes Dobson. Dobson going to try to sneak in there. Nothing doing. Martinez slams the door shut. So Armando Martinez, your race leader on the outside. And here comes Arthur on the inside. And Arthur going to pull up side by side. They're going into the splits. It looks like Arthur went to the inside. And Martinez goes to the outside. So Martinez trying to steal that lead away from Catura. And he'll have the drive as they head into the back straightaway. Martinez comes out, and you can see him pulling on Catura. He is on the outside of Catura, staying out of that pump wash. Doesn't want to put any of that aerated water and slow him down. It's 10 minutes plus a lap here in this runabout class. Once again, the Pro Novice Runabout 4-stroke class. As your leaders come down the front straightaway, you got a novice out in front of the pros right now. Arthur, he hole-shotted in the first race as well, for those of you who are listening in, but had an issue toward the end of the race and ended up slipping all the way back up into third place. So Martinez trying to take advantage of Arthur, but nothing doing as of yet. We got Fort Lauderdale against Miami in your battle of the Floridian cities out there, working their way down the back straightaway. That's Fort Lauderdale in front, Miami in second.
Just a reminder, too, everybody, all you racers, this is your reminder. We are asking you to go to Tech after your motos. This is a learning race. This is not World Finals, but we do want to get you in the habit of learning to go to Tech. Please remind your riders, especially you juniors, when we say go to Tech, we need you guys going to Tech, please.
All right, back out to the race course. Arthur coming from the outside. Starting to stretch that lead now. over Martinez. Martinez going to be coming from the inside split, and he's got company. Don't look now. Here comes Dobson on the 606. It's like Dobson hitting the brakes right there. He's going to take that inside split. Martinez goes to the outside over here on the left-hand side of the track. And there is the younger Martinez. That's Andy Martinez, boat number 117, who is representing the novice class out there. Bendetti bringing up the backside out of Orlando. Boat number 529, and that boat shows it's definitely got the horsepower. And look at Martinez along the back straightaway. You can't see him because of the pump wash being dispersed right now by Couture on the inside. But Martinez is right there. You see him come through the jet spray right there. What a cool shot. I hope some photographers out there got that shot, man. That was amazing. You just see Martinez just rolling through the jet spray, being dispersed there by Arthur Couture. And Couture working right to left in front of you, still maintaining that lead. He's going to go to the outside split. Meanwhile, Martinez is going to go to the inside. So a great battle going on up here for the lead. Meanwhile, the younger Martinez, Andy Martinez, 17 years fast, has moved up into that third place position. And still battling. Martinez not giving up. He wants to get past Arthur. And it looks like Dobson got Martinez on that left-hand split. So here comes your race leader. This is Arthur Couture right here. 5:30 left on the clock. So it's Couture, followed by Dobson. And Martinez, 1, 2, and 3 right now. And you also got Martinez back there in the fourth spot as well. That is your battle here for the novice runabout four-stroke class, currently running second in his class. Running just ahead of Bendetti over here on the left-hand side of the track. And working his way through the inside split. Meanwhile, your race leader got about a 5-second gap now between first and second place. Boat number 0, Arthur Couture, is your race leader. Poor Arthur was standing at the tech tent, the stagers tent, a little bit earlier, and wasn't watching. And one of our runabout classes were up and just got a full face full of pump water. Pretty comical moment from the weekend that the cameras probably missed for those of you folks that are listening in back home. We've had a lot of comical moments here this weekend, last weekend as well. Last weekend we had Brandon the snake handler. That was pretty crazy. We had a cottonmouth snake crawl up onto the beach, and this guy just went up, picked it by its tail, whipped it around, and threw it out into the crowd. You talk about people scattering. A lot of fun this past week, having all our friends from up north down here for the Winter Series. Again, special thanks to CJ and the entire crew over at SBT. Support those who support the sport, and you can support SBT by going to shopsbt.com. As race number 10 is coming to the line. And I believe that's another one of our Pro-Am ski classes. Yeah, that's the 1050 class that's coming to the line right now. Still got just over 3 minutes and a lap left to go here in this final, I believe, runabout race. We've got the Pro-Am 1050 class coming up next, and then we've got the Pro-Am Ski GP will be the final race of the day for those of you folks that are listening in on the SBT live stream. And Couture in command right here. Dobson trying to reel him in, but Couture with about a straightaway lead over Dobson right now from Indiana. And here comes Martinez. Martinez going to follow Dobson through the split track, left-hand side. So Couture with a nice lead right now. And second and third pretty evenly spaced out, about 6 to 7 seconds between second and third as well. We don't have the GPS units on these guys, but we'll have them here for the next 2 races, so we'll be able to tell you folks at home some of the lap times, what the gaps are, and so forth. Got about 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock as Couture making another pass back by. So that means he's probably got 3 to 4 more laps to go. depending on whether Kevin is feeling nice or not. All right, 2 minutes. The 2-minute warning here in race number 9. Once again, 11 total races today. After race number 11, we will be doing the awards. Don't forget, we got the ECW Pro Watercross merchandise up here at the Pro Watercross Tour compound. Stop on up here and pick up yourself a souvenir before you take off back to wherever it is that you may have driven here from or flew here from. I feel sorry for all you Northerners. You're going back up to more blizzards. Yikes. I talked to a friend of mine from Massachusetts a little bit earlier today, and he said one of his properties had 11 feet of snow. He said they actually needed a front end loader to clear the snow from the driveway so they could get out to come down here and race in, mid 70-degree weather. Under a minute left on the clock. And there's the younger Martinez, Andy Martinez, coming through the start-finish line. And Marcio Bendetti also coming through the start-finish line. Here comes your race leader toward the SBT start-finish line. 42 seconds, so I imagine he is going to get the white flag the next time around. Dobson starting to close that gap. Might be too little too late as we'll get the white flag on the next lap here for Katura, who is on boat number 0, top left-hand side of the track, now racing down the back straightaway. Once again, been a great weekend full of some ups and downs. Had some cool weather come in yesterday afternoon and this morning. But yesterday morning and afternoon was very nice here. And now this afternoon, it's the sun has come out. Great day for racing. Just a little wind here from the southeast. And the white flag is out. So less than a lap to go for your race leader, Arthur Katura from Fort Lauderdale. Dobson out of Indiana still hanging on to second. And then you've got Miami's Armando Martinez in third. So Davey Prado often out of this one here. I believe he's saving himself for that Pro-Am Ski GP, which will be coming up after the next race. So again, this has been the Pro-Am runabout 4-stroke and the novice runabout 4-stroke. White flag going back in the holster, checkered flag coming out, and congratulations. Arthur Katura going to take the win. Congratulations, Arthur. And Dobson coming through in second. And Armando Martinez coming through in third. That rounds out to your top 3, and that'll do it for race number 9. Race number 10 should be down online. And this is one of our larger classes of the day. I'm sorry, race number 10 should be down online. This is the Pro-Am Watercross 1050 class. And we have got a full lineup down there, beginning with boat number 1, sponsored by Glidwell Racing, Placid Pools, Marsh Rats, Inshore Charters. From Jacksonville, Florida, that's Kylie Meyer. From Elizabeth, Tennessee, boat number 18 is Jason Fornash. Boat number 94 from Appleton, Tennessee, sponsored by One Up Storage, Brad Adams. Boat number 151 is Hans Neal. Boat number 312 from Pasadena, Maryland is Keith Dressel. Boat number 316 from Buffalo, New York, sponsored by Pebbler Sales and Service, Greg's Auto Parts, 300 Motorsports, Clot Synthetic Lubricants, Rhino Power, Jet Trim, and ODI Grips is Austin Jones. Boat number 331 from Frederick, Maryland is Joe Lyons. Boat number 380 from Pasadena, Maryland, sponsored by Fly Racing, Jet Trim, Rhino Power, IPD, ODI Grips is Ben Dressel. Boat number 595, sponsored by the Commander Youth Racing Program, Jet Trim, Jet Pilot, Showtime Freestyle, Hot Slag, No Limits Metalworks out of Franklin, New Hampshire, Sebastian Wilcox. Boat number 710 out of Painted Post, New York, sponsored by Poured Concrete Walls and Corning Construction. 710 is Andrew Freeman. Boat number 995 from Ottawa, Tennessee, sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment and his daddy, Kevin Rowe. That is Jax Rowe. And Jax is going to be in pole position on the outside. Once again, pole position, for those of you folks that may be watching in at home, pole position's on the right-hand side, as this was a right-handed course. So I'm trying to get a number there, see who's in pole position over here on the right-hand side. All right, riders told to fire up their boats. Jax definitely one to watch. Kylie Meyer definitely one to watch. Ben Dressel hole-shotted. Ended up in third in that first race. Yeah, Jax made a great decision in that last race to go to the inside, and Dressel followed some lappers on the outside. Jax ended up taking the win, pulled Wilcox with him. Wilcox took second, and the red flag, the dreaded red, comes out. So, once again, we're busting out some dirty laundry from the flag stand right there. And we'll bring them back and get them restarted. Somebody had an itchy throttle finger down there. We'll let you know who the guilty party is when we know it up here. So, again, they'll bring them back to the starting line, repack, restack, re-rack, and restart this one all over again. Once again, we appreciate everybody tuning in the live stream, WECW Radio and TV, right here from Lake Alfred. The live stream. Special thanks to Charlie Gunchard for all his hard work. Of course, the Wicked Princess, she is manning the engine room up here. And Miss Cassandra, keeping us all happy. DJ Cassie. We'll call her DJ Cassie. It's all good in the hood here in Lake Alfred. And this is another one of our GPS classes here. So we should be able to give you some lap times for those of you who are listening in at home. We'll let you know. All right, finding out right here, the guilty party was boat number 331 that jumped the line. So Joe Lyonsby starting with a dead engine. And lanyard held over his head. Joe out of Frederick, Maryland. Hey, I don't blame him. Joe's 55 years old. I'd be trying to get the advantage, too. I'm with you, Joe. I think they should give you a freebie here, man. A get-out-of-jail-free card. No, okay, no get-out-of-jail-free cards, I'm hearing. And if you're looking for Joe down online, got the orange helmet, orange vest down here on the outside split. 10 minutes plus a lap here in the Pro-Am Watercross 1050 class. Current time on deck, it's just about 2:30 with 2 more races to go. So we'll get everybody out of here pretty early today. Special thanks to the ECW staff who have done a great job. Tell you, we got some new systems and everything that we're trying out here for those of you folks that are watching in at home. A lot of new stuff going on this week, a lot of new technology, and just really getting it dialed in. So this series has really been kind of an R&D session for those of us at East Coast Watercross as well. All right, here we go. The Pro 1050 class is off and away. Ben Dressel on the inside. On the outside, looks like Sebastian Wilcox. So Dressel, your race leader on the inside, he led all but the last lap. All but the last lap in Moto number 1. Took a third in the first Moto. Ben out of Pasadena, Maryland. And Dressel, look at that, stealing that line away. Smart move right there. Wilcox looked like he had the line. Wilcox going to go to the outside. Dressel goes to the inside. It's like Kevin Rowe back there in the third place position. And that is Kylie Meyer that went in about the same time as third place did. So Meyer vying for that third place position as well as they get ready to exit the split on the left-hand side of the track and work their way down the back straightaway. And look at this. Once again, Wilcox working to the outside of Dressel, trying to find some clean water. And less than about 3 boat lengths separate first and second place as they head on to the right-hand side of the course. Brad Adams just moved up into fifth place. For those of you who are watching on at home, and it's Jax Rowe down here, top three, now all on the front straightaway. You got Dressel, followed by 595, Wilcox. 995 is Jax Rowe. Then you got Kylie Meyer deep in the tray right now. Brad Adams in fifth. Looks like Hans Neal in sixth. And then it looks like, I believe that was boat number 318, or I'm sorry, 312, Keith Dressel, back there in the seventh spot. So that's the way they stack up 1 through 7. Just under 8 minutes to go. This is 10 minutes plus a lap. 10 minutes plus a lap. Those of you folks listening in, I'm sure you can hear in the background the Pro-Am Ski GP class getting ready. And what do we got? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 in the Ski GP class. I believe we've got 11 out here in this Pro-Am 1050 class. Dressel still your race leader on the outside split, right-hand side of the track as we view it here from the compound. And here comes Dressel, and out comes Jax Rowe. Rowe finding some clean water on that inside. So Rowe now starting to pressure Wilcox, who is on the outside split, left-hand side of the track. Rowe goes to the inside. Both of them chasing Ben Dressel. Once again, Jax Rowe picking up some new sponsorship this weekend from the Stevens clan at Team Reckless Abandonment. Dressel now down the back straightaway, and Rowe once again challenging Wilcox as they work their way down the back straightaway. And Jax Rowe working to the inside of Sebastian Wilcox, trying to stay out of the whitewater as they head to the top right-hand side of the track, both chasing Ben Dressel. And this time, once again, Jax Rowe making a smart decision right there. Nobody on the inside, so I'm going to go on the inside. Sebastian Wilcox follows Dressel over here on the bottom right-hand side of the track, and here we go down the front straightaway. It's going to be close. Here comes Jax Rowe. Jax is letting Wilcox know, hey, I'm right here. No slips, trips, or bobbles today, buddy. No free passes. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. 6:15 left on the ticker. Kylie Meyer still in fourth. Brad Adams still in fifth. Brad again sponsored by One Up Storage. Meyer sponsored by the Glidwell Racing Team. Kylie Meyer once again on the inside split, right side of the course. Brad Adams on the outside as Kylie gets ready to come out. Still maintains her fourth place position. And you can see your top four all along the back straightaway right now, with Dressel still being your leader. And this time it looked like Wilcox opted to go to the inside. Now let's see what Rowe does. Rowe's going to opt to go to the outside. So let's see if Rowe can make up any time on that outside. As Wilcox went to the inside, and here comes Rowe. Wilcox comes out. And actually it looked like Wilcox probably gained about a half a second or so on that inside split over on the right-hand side of the track. So some great racing going on here in the Pro Watercross 1050 class. As we approach the halfway mark, we are just about 5 minutes with 5 minutes and 1 lap to go.
See if you can get the attention of the boys on the dock and not let that plastic bag blow in the water.
Hey, you folks out on the dock. Hey, you juniors down out on the dock, can you hear me? Once again, you juniors out on the dock. Hey, can somebody tell them to pick up that plastic bag so it doesn't go in the water? Can somebody tell the kids out on the end of the dock that the plastic bag does not need to be in the water? Somebody pick that up. One of our marshals picked that up. We don't want anybody sucking up their pump. Thank you very much. Thank you. Alrighty, so okay, we got that taken care of. All right, so 4 minutes left on the clock. No, nothing crazy happening on that last lap while we were playing Trash Man 101. All right, so Dressel, Wilcox, and it looks like third place having some. Okay, so you still got Dressel in front. Wilcox in second. Jax Rowe in third. So here comes your race leader, working right to left down the front straightaway. Dressel, followed by Wilcox and Rowe, 1, 2, and 3. And these guys are so tight you could throw a blanket over all three of them. Fourth place is still Kylie Meyer on the 529. And right behind Kylie, you got boat number 710. That is Andrew Friedman. So those are your top five here as we head into the latter stages of this race. Closing in on 3 minutes right now. 10 minutes plus a lap for those of you who are listening in at home. And Dressel, your race leader, goes to the outside. Wilcox goes to the inside. Actually, no, that wasn't Wilcox. Wilcox following suit. He follows Dressel to the outside. Is Jax Rowe going to follow him too? Jack's going to follow him too. So your top three all on the outside split and get ready to come down the front straightaway with 2 minutes, 30 seconds left on the clock. It is Ben Dressel from Pasadena, Maryland, your race leader. Wilcox still in second. Again, Wilcox sponsored by Frank and the folks out at Jet Trim. Of course, Darren Attard and all those fun folks over at Jet Pilot. Steve over at Commander Industries. Special thanks to also the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metalworks, two of our sponsors, also two of his sponsors. He's also out there racing for Dad's Overtime. So Dad's Overtime also helping to foot the bill right here. When we take a look down here, Ben Dressel, his last lap time was a 59.450. His fastest lap time was a 58.293. And at the fastest lap time so far out there was Jax Rowe, who turned in a 57.284, but currently sits in third place. Final race of the day is coming up next, Pro Ski GP. As time starts to tick away here in this one, top three, still the top three. Dressel, followed by Wilcox, Sebastian Wilcox, and 995 Jax Rowe. Again, Jax out of Ottawa, Tennessee, sponsored by Team Reckless Abandonment. And Kylie Meyer still holding on to fourth. Brad Adams in fifth on boat number 94. Meanwhile, your race leaders down the back straightaway. It's still Dressel, your race leader. And it looked like Jax Rowe starting to close a little bit on Sebastian Wilcox. Going to be a great battle. 45 seconds left on the clock, so they're probably not going to get the white flag until the next lap. Blue flag coming out for Freeman. And Neal going to stretch his back a little bit. And here comes Dressel, your race leader. 30 seconds left on the clock, so he'll get the white flag the next time around. Wilcox still maintaining second, followed by Rowe. And that is a tough row to hoe. What's happening? How you doing, Michael? Good to see you, buddy. All the dignitaries in the house, old schoolers. Good to see my good friend Mike Lopez in the house. Sean Hagan down here on the beach. Adrian Wilson coming all the way from across the pond to help out. Kevin Rowe up on the tower. Of course, Sean Dudek and his crew doing an amazing job keeping everything rolling throughout the day. And, of course, can't forget Beer Dart, who is hanging out down there on the launch pad. Of course, Maddie and Tara, who are up on the stage, are backup scoring. I know there's probably a ton of people that I'm forgetting, like Sevens, who is out there course marshaling. And course marshal Randy, who is also out there course marshaling. Thank you all for your support. Great staff here with ECW All-Star Cast here this weekend for the final round of the SBT East Coast Watercross Winter Series. Nice. Okay, I'm taking a look. I'm hearing oohs and ahs as the white flag comes out. It's still Dressel in the lead. I see that. Wilcox still in second. And Jax Rowe in third. 1, 2, and 3 as they get ready to go down the back straightaway. They got a back marker in front of them out there. So no changes that last time around as the white flag is out. It's been pretty much this way the entire race, the Pro-Am Watercross 1050 class. Ben Dressel, your race leader. Again, Ben out of Pasadena, Maryland. And one more buoy to negotiate. That deal is in the books, and he's got nothing but a straightaway and black and white checkers in his future. How about it? Put your hands together for Ben Dressel. And $5.95, Sebastian Wilcox putting on a great show up front. $9.95, Jax Rowe settling for third here. Now, the funny thing is all of them are going to have 4 points, right? Because Dressel got a 3-1, all right? Jax got a 1-3, and Wilcox got a 2-2. So the way that will be scored, Ben Dressel takes the overall, Wilcox takes second, and Jax Rowe going to have to settle for third. So anyways, any of you folks listening in didn't know the first moto results. Well, there you have it, and those are the overall results. But again, everything you hear from me is unofficial. The only time I get official is after 7 p.m. at night. When I'm sleeping, exactly, when I shut up. You got that right. All right, final couple of riders coming through the start-finish line. Final race of the day, final race of the weekend, final race of the series is down there on the starting line right now. Next week, starting a new series out in Texas. We invite everybody to come out to Texas with us. Pro-Am Ski GP down online, sponsored by Jet Tribe, IPD Graphics, and Performance Jet Ski and Cycle. That's Charles Gounchard out of Mandeville, Louisiana. Coming to us out of Brazil, we've got Davey Prado. Davey sponsored by Casarini, Pro Watercraft, Jet Tribe, Mono Zaprano, and Mormai. Boat number 51, Dave Cabrera out of Miramar, Florida, sponsored by Fast Power Sports, Cabrera Motorsports, Broward Motorsports, Tim Judge Racing, and Exotic Signs. Boat number 98, Eric Medlin out of Pembroke Pines, Florida. And he'll be riding atop a Commander. Sean Dudek out of Laconia, New Hampshire, sponsored by Commander Industries, Jet Pilot, No Limits Metalworks, The Hot Slag Company, $5.95 handling, $139 designs, and Moto Option. Boat number 169 out of Delray Beach, Florida, is Isabella Parker. Boat number 201, who has been stellar during this series, out of Delray Beach, Florida, sponsored by Fast Power Sports, as well as Mark Landis Racing, Boost Creative, Riva Racing, Mac Tuner Unlimited, Jet Trim, and Rick Roy Products. That's Chris Landis. Boat number 591, taking a fourth in Moto number 1 out of LaBelle, Florida, sponsored by Likes Brothers Incorporated. Kyle Fabro, boat number 595 from Franklin, New Hampshire, riding atop a Commander, sponsored by No Limits Metalworks, Z-Force Racing, and Slag Danger Racing Fuels. That's Kelly Wilcox. And rounding out the field on boat number 730, sponsored by Commander, the Hot Slag Company, No Limits Metalworks, Jet Pilot, as well as Casey's Cafe and Earthlight Technologies, Braden Seven. So that is your field of ski GP riders, and I believe they are going to be going 12 minutes plus a lap. Man, I'll tell you, that's a long time to be holding on to one of these GP boats. As we have a couple of riders going to blow out their boats real quick before we get this one underway. Again, this is the final race of the weekend, the Pro-Am Ski GP. 12 minutes plus a lap. Current time on deck, it's about 2:45. So once again, if we get done at 3, we'll have the awards at 3:30. Should have everybody out of here by 4 o'clock today. And once again, for those of you folks that are listening in at home on the SBT live broadcast presented by Liqui we thank you for tuning in to us here this weekend. Special thanks to Charles Gounchard and the camera crew who have been working hard over there to my right of the Pro Watercross compound. Again, don't forget to pick up your souvenirs before you take off from Lake Alfred today. We still have the merch booth open, and it'll remain open for probably the next half hour or so. So again, if you've not yet picked up anything from the merch booth, make sure that you pick up a souvenir on the way out. Again, we got the new gray shirts, the sun shirts, the zip-up hoodies, Pro Watercross hats, navy blue T-shirts, bottle openers, koozies, and the ECW stickers, as well as the discounted 2025 T-shirts, $5 ECW shirts from 2024, and clearance Moto Option products. Alrighty, so once again, we are going to have making sure that everybody's got their GPS hooked up, so we can see lap times, live time here. Let's see what kind of lap times these GP boats, the 1050s, we're putting in, 54, 55, 56 seconds, right around there. That's what the GPs were running. Or I'm sorry, the 1050s were running. Once again, this is the last call also for anybody that would like to grab some food, hot dogs and hamburgers, French fries, onion rings, nachos and cheese and nachos. They've got them all over at the Lions Club Landing. And again, special thanks to the Lions Club putting on a great welcome party on Friday night. Had the band and everything. Good stuff, playing some good dance music. And yesterday coming out and hanging out with us all day long. Still out here today. Hard chargers here at the Lions Club, and they love racing here in Polk County. Alrighty, so once again, we've got 9 riders here ready to do battle in the Pro-Am Ski GP class. As we get a holder down there, and Kevin ready to tell him to fire up. Getting some great drone footage there, and that's from Aerial Flicks, drone videos. Sean, don't take out the crowd, man. Oh, poor little guy. You might have to spend a T-shirt for that, Sean. Poor little guy. All righty, here we go with the start of the Pro-Am Ski GP class. For those of you at home that missed it, Sean clearing out his boat. There's a little guy behind him who got taken out by some pump wash.
What's that? Took 12 minutes. 12 plus 1. Yep. That's the last one of the day.
Alrighty, here we go with the start of the GP class. Actually, they just bumped it up to 15 minutes. Now, how many boats are we going to have left after 15? Yeah, they bumped it up to 15 minutes. This is the final race of the weekend, final race of the series here. And let's take a look out here. 201 Landis on the inside. It's Cabrera on the outside. Once again, Landis sponsored by Fast Power Sports, Mark Landis Racing, and Riva Racing. And here we go down the front straightaway. And look at this. Cabrera's going to have the drive. Comes out of it just a little bit. And Prado stealing the line away there from 98, Medlin. So Prado came from that inside. And Medlin down in a bad spot. Medlin down here on the inside. Once again, Medlin swimming over to his boat right now. He appears to be okay, but the yellow flags are out. Slid out at the entrance of that inside split, left-hand side of the track. So a tough break there for Medlin. Medlin back up on the boat, and he is going to get back out on the course and save some points. Meanwhile, Landis already down at the bottom right-hand side of the track and down the straightaway. And he is hauling donkey. Landis been pretty much unstoppable for most of the weekend. That guy right there, David Cabrera, picking up a win. And then Davey Prado picking up a win, who is currently sitting in second and third. Then you got Seven back there in fourth place, who took a second in the last moto. So once again, Cabrera right now with the fastest lap, a 50.569. Braden 7 with a 51.455. Davey Prado with a 51.585. And then Kyle Fabro with a 52.453. Seven able to get in front of Prado for that third place position. Seven now working the inside split on the left-hand side of the track. Time ticking away, but very slowly. Still 12 and a half minutes left to go here in this one. Again, the fastest lap time so far thrown down by, I believe it was Braden 7, a 54.22. That's the fastest lap time that we've seen so far. We'll go back a little further in the pack as the racers come back around. And it's Landis with a huge lead over Cabrera right now. As here comes Landis charging toward the SBT start-finish line. And here comes Cabrera. Cabrera able to hold on in Moto number 1 and salvage a second place in Moto number 1. 7 took third in Moto number 1. And he is currently in third right now, just in front of Prado on boat number 27. Kyle Fabro in the fifth spot on boat number 591. Looks like Isabella Parker on 169 out of Delray Beach, rounding out your top 6 here with just about 11:30 to go in the Winter Series. So again, some great battling going on along the back straightaway. And that was 7. 7 right now is testing Cabrera over here on the top right-hand side of the track. And look at this. They both of them going to the outside. So great race, great battle going on there for second as Chris Landis is checked out. And 7 right now, again, challenging Cabrera. Cabrera opts to go to the inside. 7 going to go to the outside. 7's got some lap traffic in front of him. 27, Prado going to go to the inside. He's in 4th place. Fabro in 5th, goes to the outside. This is the split we're talking about, left-hand side of the track. Meanwhile, back out to your race leader, who is just running at a blistering pace right now. That is Chris Landis, again, riding for Dave Bamdis and company down at Riva Motorsports, Medlin, with a tough break there at the start. And 2:01, Landis passing another pass back by our start-finish line. Landis, I'm sure, also turning in some blistering times. Again, the fastest one on my screen right now is Kyle Fabro, who had a 51.383. But let me go over here. Wicked Princess has got a screen, too. And maybe I've got some information on Chris Landis.
Landis' fastest lap time. 157 mile an hour.
Yeah, so Landis with a 57.59. That is the fastest lap time, a 57.59. And currently, right now, he's going 52 mile an hour, down to 39, 37, up to 49 mile an hour, 53 mile an hour, 59 mile an hour. I love these GPS systems, man. Boy, I'll tell you, we got lots to talk about. I need to get that screen. I need to get that screen on that screen. It's got a lot more information. The Wicked Princess is working the engine room right here, doing a great job. She has definitely put in some overtime on working here for the Winter Nationals this weekend. 9 minutes left on the clock. Whose boat is going to hold together for 15 minutes? It's not going to be only a physical battle out there, but it's going to be a mental battle, and it's whose got their equipment dialed in. Once again, a tough break there for Medlin in that first lap. Involved in a crash. And there is Landis. Landis going to work to the outside split right now, and he's got about a half-lap lead over the rest of the pack. As Cabrera just now coming down the front straightaway, and he's got a back marker in front of him, and that is Gunchard. So they're telling Charles, they gave Charles the blue flag, so Charles is going to go to the outside. Your leader's going to the inside. Second place is still Cabrera. 7 still in third. 7 with a lapped rider in front of him on that outside split, left-hand side of the track as we approach 8 minutes. Once again, 15 minutes, a long time to be out here on one of those GP boats. 595, Wilcox coming through the start-finish line, as is Medlin. And here comes your race leader, 201, Chris Landis, again out of Delray Beach, Florida. And he has got a bunch of sponsors that are helping him out this weekend. Mark Landis Racing, of course, Fast Power Sports, Jet Trim, Rick Roy Products, Riva Racing, Boost Creative. And I'll tell you, I'm really surprised that Cabrera is still out there in second place, man. This guy is an Iron Man. David Cabrera, once again, out of Miramar, Florida, sponsored by Sam Nemi and the fine folks down there at Broward Motorsports, as well as Fast Power Sports, and TJ helping them out too, Tim Judge Racing, as well as Paul Jordan down at Exotic Signs, making those fast graphics. And your race leaders working their way down the back straightaway. Once again, that is second and third down the back straightaway. That's Brody Seven still in third, sponsored by Commander Industries, Hot Slag, No Limits, as well as Jet Pilot and Earthlight Technologies. Once again, working their way, picking their way through the lappers. Your leader, again, already at the top left-hand side of the track. And here comes second place through the start-finish line, Speedy Cabrera. And Braden Seven, rather, still in the third place position, and has been doing double duty out here for us this weekend, as he has been one of our course marshals, letting Adrian Wilson go out there and course marshal for these final couple of races of the day. Again, this is the last race of the weekend. And as I take a look down, we've got about 6 minutes left on the clock. At 6 minutes, that should be about 3:05, so it should be about 3:35. About 3:35, we should be doing the awards. About 3:45 or 3:35 to 3:45. Just listen. We'll make sure that we call you down. Cabrera, another pass back by our start-finish line, and I'm surprised again that he's really able to keep Braden Seven at bay here. Braden only 17 years old. Cabrera about the mid-century mark. And I believe that's Fabro that is still running in the fifth spot, with Prado running in fourth. And Davey Prado making the way over from Brazil. And Prado sponsored by Casarini, Pro Watercraft, Jet Tribe, and Mono Soprano. Prado's fastest lap time so far, a 52.431. But again, Chris Landis with the fastest lap time so far, a 57.58. So Cabrera still in second. Last lap went 53.970. His fastest lap was a 51.834. So slowing down just a little bit here as we get into the latter stages of this. Coming up to the final third stage of this race, nearing just past the 4-minute, 30-second mark. See all that guys' lap times. No, it should be Landis is in first. Yeah, it should be Landis in first, Cabrera in second, and then seven in third. All right, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the ticker here. Our online countdown, not in line with our countdown. But we are working out all the bugs. You're watching the Pro-Am Ski GP final race of the Short Block Technologies East Coast Watercross Winter Series. 2 weekends of racing here at Lake Alfred. Always fun to come down here to Polk County, home of the world's most famous sheriff, Grady Judd. And if you know, you know. Cabrera in second place, stretching out that back a little bit, hitting the brakes. 7 going to follow him in that inside split, left-hand side of the track. Prado now start to catch up to second and third. So Prado's now in the mix. 2, 3, and 4 all on the inside of the split. Fabro fighting for 5th place right now. .201 is your race leader still, Chris Landis. And once again, Landis turning in a fast lap time of 50.758. 50.758, fastest lap time that we've seen here in the GP class today. And you can see Cabrera stretching out his back. He's got to hold off 7 for a couple more laps as we just passed the 2-minute mark. 2-minute mark. So second, third place, both on the inside split right now. 4th place went to the outside. That was Prado. Kyle Fabro still in the 5th spot. Once again, Kyle Fabro out of LaBelle, Florida. He's on a Fast Power Sports boat, and he is sponsored by Likes Brothers Incorporated. And taking a look out there, Landis has lapped all the way up to 6th place right now. Now to 5th. So Chris Landis on a tear out there this weekend. Earlier today came in with a 20-second lead over second place. And it looks like Dave Cabrera has put a little bigger gap in between he and Braden 7. 7 on the inside split right now. And going to try to challenge Cabrera, but that battle is for second place. Again, first place with over a half lap lead right now. 45 seconds left on the clock. So Landis will get the white flag the next time around. So once again, Landis will get the white flag the next time around. And I'm looking for second place is still on the outside split right now. And it's Cabrera and 7 still running 2 and 3 out here on the track. So once again, 15 seconds left on the clock before time expires here in race number 11. Glad everybody could hang out with us here for the final round of the Short Block Technologies East Coast Watercross Winter Series. Brought to you by our good friends at Liqui Moly. The white flag now out for Chris Landis. Again, sponsored by Mark Landis Racing, Boost Creative, Map Tuner Unlimited Jet Trim, Fast Power Sports, and Rick Roy Products. So 15 minutes plus a lap, almost like an endurance race for these skis out here, especially this GP division. But what I'm surprised about, what surprises me the most, is that we haven't seen any breakdowns. Nobody has come in on the gaff. Normally when you got a GP class and you put this much time on the boat, something is bound to break down. And we have had 0 breakdowns in this class with only 1 lap to go. Speaks highly of our GP mechanics out there. And out comes the checkered flag, and here comes Chris Landis. Landis does it again here in Lake Alfred. Congratulations, Chris Landis, taking the win here in Lake Alfred. Again, sponsored by Riva Motorsports, Mark Landis Racing, Fast Power Sports, all helping him out. Creative Boost also helping out Landis. Yeah, second place now coming through the outside split. Cabrera able to hold off the charges from the young gun out there. And here comes Cabrera. Cabrera going to take second place here in the Pro Runabout GP class, and Braden 7 coming through in third. Davey Prado, boat number 27, coming through in the 4th spot. And rounding out your top 5 on boat number 591 is Kyle Fabro. So great job there. Those are your top 5 in the Pro-Am Ski GP. And taking the overall, I believe, is going to be Chris Landis, who had a perfect day today. Braden 7, I think, is second for the day today. I'm quite sure. Or check that Cabrera second, and 7 will be third. So, yeah, Cabrera with a nice run right there. Took a second in moto number 1. So Cabrera will be in second. Landis will be in first. And 7 will be in third. And once again, everything you hear from me is unofficial. So make sure you check the pit board. Make sure you go down there and get your boat teched. That's right. We got Beer Dart down there right now that are teching the boats. And again, I'd like to say a special thanks to everybody for tuning in here to our SBT live stream, brought to you by our good friends from Liquid Molly. Also, a special thanks to Beer Dart, as well as Visit Central Florida, Charles Goonchard Photography, 10mm Photo, Aerial Flicks, Cabrera Motorsports, Global Integrated Motorsports, Factory Fade, Hamburg Floor Covering, 595 Handling Solutions, 139 Designs, Pro Rider Magazine, Commander Industries, Moto Option Clothing, Extreme Service Center, Hammerhead Tactical, the City of Lake Alfred Lions Club, 139 Designs, JetX Power Sports, No Limits Metalworks, and the Hot Slag Company. Special thanks to all of our great officials and vendors that came out with us for the SBT ECW Winter Series. Been a great time. We're going to do our awards about 3:45. Current time on deck, it's about 10 after 3. And on behalf of all of us here at East Coast Watercross and Liquid Molly, we sure do appreciate everybody for tuning in. My name's Mike Young, and we'll see you at the awards.